I am playing Pokemon Scarlet with only a Quaxly. He is the lovable little duckling who was chosen the least on release, so I wanted to show him some love. I will be completing the 3 storylines, Path of Legends, Starfall Street, and Victory Road, without ever evolving him. So I will have to stop evolutions every time I come across it. Also, I will not be using any other Pokemon with a couple exceptions, which I'll get into when we get there. I will use everything in my power to reach the end, and if you think over-leveling is an easy out, you are wrong. This is going to be a tough challenge, so let's see if it's even possible. We start out by picking our little blue friend and completely scuffing the nickname, causing me to change the name within the menu. Meet Maxey the Quaxly. We beat Nemona on the beach and made our way to Mezagoza. After the story moments here, I head straight to Katie at Cortando while fighting trainers and running through raid dens for the candies to help with leveling. This will end up being my main way of leveling. I leveled to 15 and decided to face Katie. Since she is the first leader, she is very Well, I leveled up a little bit more and was able to beat Nimble and Tarantula easily. Her ace is a Bug-Terra type Teddiursa who I was able to knock out with 1 wing attack. Gym 1 complete. I head into the opposite direction and take on the big derpy-eyed creature Cloth. I immediately terrestrialize an Aqua Jet, taking his health to less than half. He used his turn to block me from escaping, which I'm pretty sure I cannot do that as it is. Another Aqua Jet finishes off the first part of the Titan battle. Cloth eats his plant and Arven joins me for the second part. Cloth goes Super Saiyan and I Aqua Jet, not doing nearly as much as last time since I thought I wouldn't be able to terrestrialize even though it was clearly lit up. Maxey takes a Rock Tomb, getting his speed lowered, which isn't a big deal since Aqua Jet is a priority move. Arven Shelter drops his defense using Leer, and Maxey Aqua Jets again for a larger hit. Cloth throws the fight by blocking Shelter from escaping, giving Shelter the chance to Water Gun, and Maxey to finish with another Aqua Jet, finishing up this fight and Arven giving us the badge for the Stony Titan being defeated. We make our way to Artisan to take on Brassius, the Grass Gym Leader. This is a huge problem due to Grass being strong against Water and Water being weak to Grass, but I believe in Maxey and he can do it. Brassius leads with Petlil, and I immediately go for a wing attack, hoping it can OHKO. He hangs on by like 1 HP, which sucks. He hits me with a Mega Drain, allowing to heal for a little amount. I take him out with another wing attack, and Brassius brings out Smoliv, who I insta-kill with a well-placed wing attack. Then his ace, Grass-Terra type Sudowoodo, is brought out, who takes a wing attack like a champ and blasts Maxey with a grass-boosted Trailblaze, knocking me to 7 HP. There is no chance I can heal stall this fight. I attack with another wing attack, hoping for a crit, and it doesn't happen, and I'm taken out with another Trailblaze. I level up and take on Brassius again, and was able to take out a Sudowoodo with 2 wing attacks, getting me my second gym badge. It's time for another Titan, our big birdie friend Bombirdier. The Sky Titan opens with a wing attack, doing nearly half my health, and Maxey uses Aqua Cutter, which deals about 1/3 of damage. Maxey gets hit with another wing attack, bringing him down to 9 HP, nearly KOing him. The Aqua Cutter almost finishes the first half of the fight, but Maxey finishes him off with a solid priority Aqua Jet. The second fight immediately starts, and Arven joins us with a little Knackley. Maxey still has 9 HP, so I tossed him a healing potion to stay in the fight. Bombirdier uses Torment on Knackley, who retaliates with a Rock Throw, doing some decent damage. It's time to go hard with a terrestrialized Aqua Cutter. This does a big chunk of damage, and Knackley uses Smackdown, getting Bombirdier to KO territory. Knackley gets hit with a Rock Throw, and Maxey finishes Bombirdier off with an Aqua Cutter. We attain the Sky Titan badge and meet the bestest of boys, Arven's Mobastiff. Arven's story is the only time I actually felt anything in a Pokemon story, hands down. After that wholesome moment, it's time for our first Team Starfall raid. Now this is the part where other Pokemon come into play. You need a team of 3 to even start the raid, so I catch a Swablu and a Phanpy and charge straight for the base. After the laggy mess that is the raid section, Maxey and I take on the boss, Giacomo. He starts with a Ponard, and Maxey isn't playing around and immediately terrestrializes and goes for an Aqua Cutter, which one-shots the little chess piece. The Star Boss sends out a vehicle that seems illegally fused with Revavroom, which uses Metal Sound, lowering my special defense that Maxey hits with an Aqua Cutter, barely doing any damage. This ain't good. After another Metal Sound, Maxey tries again with another Aqua Cutter, hoping for a miracle. Oh, also, did I mention it's raining, which boosts Water-type moves as well. Maxey is hit with a Snarl, which knocks him down to 17 HP. I try to heal up Maxey, but Snarl knocks him down too low for a heal stall. Maxey is knocked out, and I throw the fight with Swablu and Phanpy. This fight's going to be a problem, and I don't want to overlevel and call it a day. so it's time to go shopping for some performance-enhancing substances, the X items. These items will up the designated stat by 2 stages. I never used X items ever in my casual playthroughs, so this is an interesting moment using them now to get me through this challenge. Time to give the boss another go. I load up Maxey with an X attack and start my assault with a terrestrialized aqua cutter on the Ponard. With the illegal machinery out, Maxey hits it with an aqua cutter, hitting for almost half the HP, which is way better. Maxey dodges the second metal sound like a good boy, and hits with another aqua cutter, nearly finishing the fight. The smoking and sparking Starmobile is then taken down by an aqua jet, ending the encounter. I get the badge for the Team Starfall fight and head to the next destination. This next fight has put fear in my heart ever since I even thought about this challenge. Levincia's gym leader and top streamer, Iono. No farting around, it's time to take this gym head on. Also, who would have thought a tier 3 sub would put the fear of God in my eyes? Anyway, it's time for Iono. She sends out Wattrel, who I know is quite a speedy one. I load up Maxey with an X attack and get punished with a spark that paralyzes my little buddy, which halves my speed and has a chance to not allow Maxey to attack. But I believe in Maxey to knock out Iono's team. I terrestrialize for an aqua cutter and am hit with a spark before aqua cutter OHKOs the Wattrel. Iono brings out Bella Bolt. I know he'll outspeed, so Maxey goes for an aqua jet, hoping to take him out. It almost does, but Maxey is taken out with a spark. This was kind of demoralizing, but we pick ourselves up and take another shot at it. The next fight, I absolutely misclick and use Pound instead of an X attack, wasting an entire turn. I try to take out Wattrel with Aqua Cutter, but am immediately taken out with a Spark. In the third attempt, I'm taken out by Spark from her Luxio. Feeling defeated, we train, level a little bit more, and give it another go. With an X attack used and terrestrialized, Maxey takes out Wattrel and Belly Bolt. Now it's on to Luxio. Maxey uses Aqua Jet for the priority and hits an absolute beautiful crit. Onto Iono's ace, the Electroterra-type, Mismagius, who outspeeds using a Confuse Ray on Maxey, but my little guy moves past the confusion and one-hit KOs the Mismagius, winning us the 3rd gym badge. After Iono, I head to the beach to catch me a Buizel and a Slowpoke to assist me in taking out Team Star boss, Mela. This one doesn't seem too bad because she's fire-typing, but we'll see. She sends out her Torkoal, whose ability is Drought, making it sunny and it weakens water moves. I don't let this deter me and use an X attack on Maxey, who tanks a boosted Flame Wheel, dealing 21 damage. Maxey terrestrializes and uses Aqua Cutter, which doesn't take out the Torkoal, who Flame Wheels again, burning Maxey in the process. Now this is a problem since burning weakens the attack stat. I use a burn heal to get rid of that status effect, and Torkoal uses Clear Smog, getting rid of my stat changes. This guy sucks. Maxey just gets rid of him with an Aqua Cutter, and out comes Revavroom, ready to ruin my day. Maxey takes his chances and Aqua Cutters the vehicle Monstrosity, but is nearly taken out by a Blazing Torque. The Aqua Cutter nearly did 1/3 of the health bar, so I heal up Maxey, but was burned by the Blazing Torque, which is weakening my little duck yet again. With the sun gone, Maxey gives it a shot with an Aqua Cutter. This deals about 1/3 damage again. After being hit with a Screech, Maxey attacks again with an Aqua Cutter and the vehicle is nearly done. Maxey was hit with another Blazing Torque and survived on 16 HP. But Maxey saw the weak point and takes out the Starmobile with a final Aqua Cutter, winning us the fight and the badge. We haven't seen our buddy Arven in a while, and it's time to give him a hand with another Titan. We find the derpiest of boys, Orthworm, who is a Steel Titan. I power at Maxey for the first part of the fight and use Low Kick, which I taught Maxey before the fight. Arven joins the second part once again with a Toadstool. Maxey goes for a Low Kick out of the gate, hoping to do some major damage, but Orthworm attacks first with a Sandstorm, and Toadstool uses Grass Knot, which doesn't do too much damage, while Low Kick does a good chunk. Orthworm wraps Toadstool, Maxey uses Low Kick, and Toadstool uses Screech. Orthworm then wraps Maxey and is hit with a Grass Knot, which leaves him at like 1 HP, but is then taken out by Low Kick, ending the fight and getting us another Titan badge. Onto Cascarafa to take on Kofu, the Water Gym leader. Now this gym poses a little problem since Quaxly is a water type. He sends out Veluza to start, and Maxey is able to take him out after a couple wing attacks with an X attack boost. His Wugtrio manages to land a crit headbutt, taking Maxey down. The second round, I boost Maxey's defense with an X defense, and his attack with 3 X attacks because I am not playing around. Veluza goes down to 1 wing attack, Wugtrio goes down to a wing attack as well, Crabominable goes down to 2 wing attacks, giving us the badge for the Water Gym. Next up is a fight I knew was going to be a problem from the start, Atticus of Team Star. His team of poison types pose a threat to Maxey for sure. For the first round, I work on setting up Maxey while Skuntank is out, who ends up poisoning Maxey using Toxic. I take him out using Aqua Cutter, and I take out Muck using Aqua Cutter as well. I tried to take out his Revavroom with an Aqua Jet, but was unable to and was punished by a Sludge and a Toxic, finishing off Maxey. I take off the Mystic Water and give Maxey the P.E.K.K.A Berry to help with dealing being poisoned. I managed to make it to the Starmobile, but was eventually taken out by the Noxus Torque. For the third attempt, I exchange Aqua Cutter with Liquidation, since that will be the hardest hitting physical move. I use a single X attack on Skuntank since he was always using Sucker Punch on the first move, and take him out with Liquidation. I decided to set up on Muck with 2 more X attacks and take him and Revavroom out with a single hit each. Then Maxey finishes off the Starmobile with a single Liquidation, as well as earning the badge for Team Star. Our next gen leader resonates with a lot of the Pokemon community since a good chunk of us are working full-time jobs. Larry of Medali is a normal type gym leader and opens with his comatose Kamala, and Maxey tries to X attack low kick her before going to sleep from a yawn, and she survives on a little bit of HP. I start boosting Maxey's defense to try and survive the slams Kamala was dishing out. Maxey was trying to use low kick but managed to get full turn sleeping, but was able to wake up and take out Kamala. The Dunsparce paralyzes Maxey with a glare but was taken out by an Aqua Jet. Staraptor and Maxey both terrestrialized, and Maxey was eventually able to take out Staraptor with an Aqua Jet, landing us the gym badge. It's time to check up on our pal Arven and take on another Titan, the Quaking Earth Titan Great Tusk. Being a ground type, Maxey has a pretty big advantage on this fight. Great Tusk outsped and hit Maxey with a Brick Break, nearly OHKOing him. With a Liquidation and a Terrestrialized Aqua Jet, the first part of the fight ends, and we make our way to the second part with Arven and his Scovillain. I entered the fight with 8 HP, but was able to take him out with a Liquidation and Scovillain's Razor Leaf, giving us yet another badge for the Titan storyline. This next fight, I got a little creative in a sense. The gym leader Rhyme is double battle focused, and you need 2 Pokemon to even attempt the fight. I grabbed a Chansey and only used her for Helping Hand to Mimic using an X attack. Rhyme sends out Mimikyu and Banette to start with. Maxey took out Banette with a single Liquidation and received a boost in all stats from the crowd. Houndstone comes out next and is taken out by a Liquidation as well. Rhyme's Ace Toxtricity comes out and terrestrializes. Maxey tries to take out Toxtricity with an Aqua Jet, fearing of being outsped, but is just short. Maxey is almost taken out by a Discharge, but hung on, and Mimikyu's disguise was broken because of it too. Maxey Aqua Jets the Toxtricity, and Chansey uses her turn to use a potion to heal up Maxey. Mimikyu is then taken out by 2 Aqua Jets, securing the Ghost Gym badge. We next head straight to Alfornada to take on the Psychic Gym leader, Tulip. She sends out Farigiraf first, and I boost Maxey's special defense. Farigiraf is taken out with a couple Liquidations, and out comes Gardevoir next. Maxey tries to take her out with the Liquidation, but doesn't succeed and is nearly taken out by an Energy Ball. I heal up Maxey, and he uses another Liquidation to take down Gardevoir. Esperatha is up next, and I decided to use an X attack and forgetting about Espathra's Opportunist ability, which boosts their stats based on what was used on the field. But Espathra is a special attacker, so it's not a big deal. After taking a Psychic, Maxey takes down Espathra with a Liquidation, and Tulip's Ace Psychic Terror-type Florges comes out. I heal up Maxey and finish the gym fight with a Liquidation, thus earning us the Psychic Gym badge. Next up in our gym entourage is Grusha of Glaciado, the Ice-type gym leader. Grusha, who I definitely thought was a girl, sends out Frostmoth to start. I boost up Maxey with an X attack and take out Frostmoth with a Liquidation. Beartick almost takes out Maxey with an Earthquake, and I use an X defense on Maxey to survive the next hit, which it does and allows me to heal Maxey. I take Beartick out with a Liquidation, and out comes the Titan. Maxey almost takes out the Ice Whale thing with a Liquidation, but he nearly hangs on. Maxey is hit with Ice Spinner, which does little to nothing, and Maxey ends the Titan with an Aqua Jet. Grusha's Ace Ice Terror-type Altaria comes out, but is taken out by a Liquidation that ends up critting, ending the fight for the final gym badge. Time for the Fairy-type Team Star member, Ortega. But before that, Maxey needs some serious boosting to his stats. I head to Montenerva to buy some Carbos and boost his Speed EV stat permanently. I start the fight and start boosting up Maxey during Ortega's first Pokemon, Azumarill. I terrestrialize and use Liquidation, which almost takes Asmodee out, but not very effective. Maxey takes her out with an Aqua Jet, and Wigglytuff comes out next. Maxey makes short work of her with Liquidation, then Dash Button is sent out, taken out by a Liquidation as well. The Stormobile is up next, and I heal up Maxey just to be safe, and take out the vehicle with 2 Liquidations, ending the fight and earning me the badge. Time to take on the final Titan, Dondozo, the False Dragon Titan. Maxey finishes the first part with a few well-placed Liquidations, and the second part starts off with Dondozo, which Geeta and Maxey take out easily, but Tatsugiri takes over for the second phase and Maxey loses to this part twice with a Dragon Pulse. The third time, I make sure Maxey can handle the Dragon Pulse with an X Special Defense. With a few more Liquidations, the second phase is finished, claiming the final Titan badge for the run. For the final Team Star boss, we have Aerie, who uses Fighting-type Pokemon. Now this fight is tough and nothing to scoff at. My first attempt, I was taken out by the first Pokemon, Toxicroak. My next attempt, I prepare and take out the Toxicroak, but was taken down by the next Pokemon, Passimian. The third attempt, I was able to set up completely on Toxicroak and sweep through the team of Toxicroak, Passimian, Annihilate, and Lucario, and then finally finishing the Starmobile off, landing me my final Team Star badge. Wrapping up the legend story, we have one final battle with Arven outside the lighthouse. He first sends out Greedent, and I use that time to set up. Greedent goes down to a Liquidation, but out next was Toadsquirrel. This piece of work outsped me and took out Maxey with a Power Whip. So I forgot to hit on pause on my recording, but I took out Toadsquirrel because I used an X speed and took out Scovillain. Next up was Garganical, who goes down to 1 Liquidation. Then Cloyster comes out and goes down to a Liquidation and an Aqua Jet. Finally, the goodest of boys comes out, but goes down to a single Liquidation, finishing up the Path of Legends storyline. Finally, time to finish Team Star off. Being the absolute pro I am, I forgot to hit record again. But I set up and take out his Oraguru and Obamaso very easily, and then Houndoom is next. The Gyarados goes down to a Liquidation, Acrobatics, and then Liquidation again. Poltergeist is sent out, but goes down to a single Liquidation. Then comes out the demon herself, Meowscarada. This one I absolutely feared when the time came. With her signature move, Flower Trick, this move crits every time. This move can easily end the run no matter what I do. And she doesn't even use it, but uses Shadow Claw, nearly taking out Maxey, who retaliates with Acrobatics. The fight is won after an Aqua Jet. Next up is a true final fight with the evolution team of Penny. She sends out Umbreon first, and I set up on him. Maxey uses Liquidation, taking Umbreon out, and then Jolteon is next. Now I know for a fact, Jolteon will outspeed, but Maxey, being the beast he is, dodges a Thunder, which will absolutely have one-shotted him. And Maxey, knowing this, crits a Liquidation, taking out Jolteon. Leafeon is up next, who doesn't go down to a Liquidation, and is nearly taking out Maxey with a Leaf Blade. Leafeon is then taken out by another Liquidation. Now thankfully, Flareon was next, and I was able to take my time to heal Maxey. Flareon then goes down to a Liquidation, and Vaporeon is next. Hey, did you know? I forgot Vaporeon has Water Absorbed and Liquidation, doesn't do anything. Maxey takes out Vaporeon using 3 Acrobatics, and out comes Penny's ace, Sylveon, who goes down to a Liquidation, thus ending the Starfall Street storyline. The time has come to finish the final storyline, Victory Road. I will not lie, this part sucked royally, and I didn't think I was able to complete it without being way over leveled. The Elite Four members alone took an hour to complete, not including Geeta and not including Nemona, but I toughened up and walked through the door. After taking the test, I started the first fight with Rika, who I definitely thought was a guy, and she leads with Wishcash. I started setting up Maxey on him and then takes them out with a Liquidation, but next up is Donphan, who goes down to a Liquidation as well. He has Sturdy. Maxey gets taken out by an Earthquake. I prep next time for the Donphan and take out the Wishcash, and the Donphan use Stone Edge this time, which Maxey tanks and ends the fight with Aqua Jet. Dugtrio comes out and his ability sends up Sandstorm, and I missed every Aqua Jet until the Sandstorm disappeared. Dugtrio goes down to an Aqua Jet. Camerupt, who is 4 times weak to water, comes out and immediately goes down to a Liquidation. Then Rika's ace, Ground Terror type Clodsire, comes out and absorbs my Liquidation with Water Absorbed. Clever Pokemon. Clodsire hits Maxey with Toxic, and Maxey retaliates with a low kick, nearly taking Clodsire out. Maxey tanks a powerful Earthquake and finishes Clodsire off with a low kick, ending the first Elite Four member. Next up is Poppy, who starts with Copperjaw. I use this time to start setting up. and Maxey takes him out with a liquidation. Next up is Magnezone, who takes a liquidation but due to sturdy survives it, but he uses the turn for a light screen, which doesn't matter to Maxey since he uses physical moves. Magnezone goes down to an Aqua Jet. Corviknight is up next, and Maxey nearly takes him out with a liquidation, but is then hit by a Brave Bird, which doesn't do much damage. The damage Corviknight receives from the recoil takes it out, leading up to the next Pokemon, Bronzong. One liquidation was all it took, and Bronzong goes down, and now it's time for Poppy's Ace Steel Terra-type Tinkaton. Maxey dishes out one last liquidation and finishes off Tinkaton and Poppy without terastallizing. With 2 members down, 2 more to go. The third member of the Elite Four is the man himself, our overworked friend hero of the people, Larry. Little did I know this man was about to bring an absolute beatdown. He leads with Tropius, who Maxey tries to take out ASAP because Tropius sets up Sunny Day so he can fire a single turn Solar Beam, which he does, leaving Maxey at 4 HP. Since Tropius outspeeds, Maxey tries to take him out with an Aqua Jet, but the attack was too weak. The third attempt, I used 2 X special defenses onto Maxey, but Tropius gets a crit and one-shots. My fourth attempt, I performed the same strategy, and this time Maxey was able to tank the hit. Tropius goes down after a couple acrobatics, and Staraptor comes out next. He uses a Brave Bird and does a decent chunk to Maxey, who I heal up. I start powering up Maxey here since it's safer, and take out Staraptor with a liquidation after the sunlight fades. Altaria is up next, but goes down to 2 liquidations. Electro-type Oricorio comes out next, and I take this time to heal. She uses Teeter Dance to confuse Maxey, who hits himself in the confusion, and Oricorio uses Revelation Dance that Maxey thankfully tanks. Maxey snaps out of confusion and takes out Oricorio with a liquidation. Larry's ace is a flying Terra-type Flamigo who goes down with a single liquidation, finishing up the third member. The final Elite Four member is Hassel, the Dragon-type trainer. He leads with Noivern, and I use this time to set up. After some back and forth, Noivern finally goes down, and Dragalge comes out next. He goes down to a liquidation, and Maxey gets poisoned due to Poison Point, and then Flapple is thrown out next. Maxey uses acrobatics, and Flapple is taken down. Haxorus is up next, and I use a turn to heal up and get rid of that poison. Maxey tanks a Dragon Claw and takes out Haxorus with an acrobatics that crits. Hassel's ace is a Dragon Terra-type Baxcalibur. Maxey uses liquidation, which almost takes him out, but Baxcalibur uses Glaive Rush, which crits and takes down Maxey. On the next attempt, I make it to Baxcalibur again, and I Terra this time, taking out Baxcalibur with a single liquidation. This ends the fight against the Elite Four, and I make my way up to Geeta the champion. This fight poses a problem because my main strat is to use X items to boost up Maxey, but Geeta leads with a Spothra whose ability Opportunist will copy the stat boosts. So I don't want to power up a Spothra, but even worse, when a Spothra goes down, her next Pokemon is Go-Goat. Spothra is a special attacker, so I boost special defense and attack, but not defense to get ready for Go-Goat. You see the problem? Oh, by the way, Spothra has Reflect, which weakens physical moves, and Lumina Crash, which drops special defense down by 2 stages, which as special defense brings it up by 2 stages, which is a massive problem. I test out a couple strategies, but ultimately this is the one that allowed me to win. I switched the Mystic Water out for Life Orb because I had moments that I was so close to KOing, but it just wasn't enough. Mystic Water boosts Water-type attacks by 20%, and Life Orb increases damage by 30%, but takes 10% of damage on myself. I wasn't using much Water moves in this fight, so it made the most sense. I get 1 X attack boost and take out a Spothra with an Aqua Jet. With Go-Goat, Maxey uses Acrobatics and takes it out in 1 hit. The next Pokemon is Avalugg, which I take this time to boost up some defenses. Maxey nearly faints to a body press, but hangs on. After a few more boosts, Maxey takes out Avalugg with a low kick. Out next is the King Chess Piece King Gambit, who goes down to a single low kick. Veluza comes out next, and I know for a fact this Torpedo Boy will outspeed me, but I guess I didn't know because it didn't, and Maxey was able to get off an Acrobatics, nearly taking it out. Maxey finishes Veluza off with another Acrobatics. Then comes out Glamora, Geeta's Rock Terra-type ace, who goes out with 1 liquidation, who also has the ability Toxic Debris, which spreads toxic spikes on the field. Geeta, this is not a Pokemon you save for the end, but you need to start off with to utilize that ability. Like, are you sure you're champion? This finishes off the champion, making me and Maxey champions of Paldea. This was huge for us, going on this whole journey together, learning together, making mistakes together. But ultimately becoming the champion was a huge undertaking, but the path isn't finished yet. We have one more fight to take on. Nemona meets us outside of the Elite Four building ready to take us in one final fight. We agree to fight outside Mezagoza, and I begin the final fight of the run. Nemona sends out her Lycanroc, who I use to boost for the fight. He goes down to a single liquidation, and out comes Pawmot, who uses Double Shock to knock Maxey down to 3 HP, and Maxey uses the liquidation to take out Pawmot. I completely forgot about the Life Orb, and Maxey was taken out by bat damage. I take off the Life Orb and change it to the Mystic Water, and on my next 2 attempts, Maxey was crit on by Lycanroc's Stone Edge, which is a load of BS. On the final attempt, Lycanroc was taken out by Liquidation, Pawmot by a Liquidation, and then she sends out to Dunsparce, who is taken out with a Low Kick. Nemona's next Pokemon, Earthworm, goes down with a Low Kick as well, and out comes Goodra next. I debated if Low Kick or Acrobatics would hit the hardest, and decided on Low Kick, hoping Goodra had a decent weight, and knocked it out with a single hit. The final Pokemon is a Terra Fire Skeledirge, and it goes down with a single liquidation, ending the fight. Now this run has taught me a lot about prepping and using items that I've never really used before. It was a great run and a tough one because I didn't want to overlevel. Well, on to the next challenge.